Sriya was the epitome of privilege. Pampered, beautiful and headstrong. Born into immense wealth, she had everything she ever wanted at her fingertips. But what she lacked was humility and the capacity to understand the struggles of the less fortunate. Aman, on the other hand, was the complete opposite. A hard-working, humble young man who had grown up under the shadows of Sriya's family's wealth. His father had worked as a caretaker for Sriya's family, and Aman spent many of his childhood days running errands in their household. He had silently admired Sriya from the day he first saw her, though she never treated him with anything but disdain. Sriya's father, Mr. Kapoor, was a man of principles. He had always appreciated Aman's dedication and work ethic, often praising him in front of Sriya, much to her chagrin. She hated being compared to someone she considered far beneath her social standing. Aman, despite being an employee, had a strong personality, excellent grades, and a moral compass that Mr. Kapoor respected greatly. But to Sriya he was just the caretaker's son. As Sriya turned 20, she was the life of every party and the apple of her boyfriend Arjun's eye. However, Arjun was trouble. A reckless playboy who introduced Sriya to a dangerous lifestyle. Despite Mr. Kapoor's repeated warnings, Sriya stayed with him, dismissing her father's concerns as outdated conservatism. Her rebellion came crashing down one fateful night when a party she attended was raided, and Arjun was caught with drugs. To save himself, Arjun blamed Sriya, and she found herself behind bars for the first time in her life. Mr. Kapoor was furious but saw this as a wake-up call. He bailed Sriya out but gave her an ultimatum: either break up with Arjun and follow his orders or face prison. Sriya reluctantly agreed, thinking her troubles would end there. However, her father had one more demand. She was to marry Aman. Marry that rat? Sriya exploded, her voice echoing through the mansion. Watch your mouth, Sriya, Mr. Kapoor snapped, his tone brooking no argument. Aman is the kind of man who can ground you, teach you humility. And whether you like it or not, he's the one you're going to spend your life with. Aman was called to the house and told about the arrangement. Despite knowing how much Sriya despised him, he agreed out of respect for Mr. Kapoor and his own unspoken love for her. The wedding was a quiet affair, with Sriya sulking through every ritual. Her venomous glare never left Aman. Their married life began on a tense note. Aman, ever the gentleman, sacrificed his bed for Sriya and slept on the couch. He cooked meals for her daily, knowing she wouldn't eat unless he lied about ordering it from a fancy restaurant. He cleaned, managed the house and bore her constant insults with patience. Sriya, however, was relentless. She threw away food he prepared, criticized his every move, and made no secret of her desire to leave him. Adding to the tension was the presence of their neighbor, Meera, who had always harbored feelings for Aman. Meera often dropped by with baked goods or to check on Aman, which only added fuel to Sriya's anger. She masked her jealousy with more insults, calling Aman weak for not standing up to Meera's obvious advances. One day, Aman's pregnant sister, Priya, came to stay with them for a week. Priya was a kind soul who tried to mend the growing rift between the couple. But Sriya's bratty behavior escalated. One morning she accidentally spilled oil on the kitchen floor and left it there, prioritizing her shopping trip over cleaning it up. Priya slipped on the oil, causing a medical emergency. Aman rushed her to the hospital, where she narrowly avoided losing her baby. When Aman returned, his anger was palpable. Sriya, he said, his voice trembling with suppressed rage, I have endured your insults, your tantrums and your hatred because I believed I could win your heart. But this is too much. You endangered my sister and her child with your carelessness. If you want to leave, then leave now. I won't stop you. Sriya was stunned into silence. For the first time she saw the depth of Aman's pain. She had always assumed his patience was infinite, but now she realized how much she had taken him for granted. Sriya stayed, though her behavior began to change subtly. She started eating the meals Aman prepared without complaint, even praising his cooking once. She cleaned the house one day while he was at work, surprising him. But the real turning point came when she overheard Mira confessing her love to Aman. "I've always loved you, Aman," Mira said, her voice quivering. "Why do you waste your time on someone like Sriya when you could have me?" Sriya expected Aman to consider the offer. Instead he said firmly, "Because I love my wife. No matter how she treats me, she's the one I chose and I'll stand by her." Tears welled up in Sriya's eyes. For the first time she saw Aman for who he truly was. A man of unwavering loyalty and love. That night she approached him hesitantly. "Aman," she began, her voice softer than he had ever heard it. "I've been horrible to you. I don't deserve your kindness, but I want to try. I want to be better. For you, for us." Aman looked at her, searching her face for sincerity. "Do you mean that, Sriya? Because I can't keep living like this, hoping for something that might never come." She nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I do. I mean it." Their relationship transformed gradually. Sriya began helping Aman in the kitchen, asking about his day, and even defending him against her friend's snide remarks. She apologized to Priya and made amends by taking care of her during her recovery. Aman in turn opened up about his feelings, sharing his dreams and fears with her. One evening as they sat on the balcony, Sriya confessed, "I've spent my whole life chasing after people who didn't care about me. But you've always been there, loving me even when I didn't deserve it. I'm sorry for everything, Om. I love you." Aman was taken aback but overjoyed. "Sriya," he said, pulling her into a gentle embrace, "I've loved you from the moment I saw you. All I ever wanted was for you to see me as more than just the caretaker's son." Their love story was far from perfect, but it was real. A testament to patience, forgiveness, and the power of love to change even the most stubborn hearts.